Hello everyone, this is Big Money Chasing Big Money by Grid Trading on Bitget. In this video, I will cover the basics of Bitget's grid trading feature, which was introduced not so long ago. I will shortly explain what grid trading is in general, what the pros and cons are, and why Bitget is the best exchange at the moment for setting up a grid trading strategy. Hopefully by the end of this video you will learn the basics of grid trading and have an idea if this is something that could be working for you or not. So, what is grid trading? Simply put, grid trading is the method of automatically opening and closing positions based on a predefined range. To give you a visual explanation and some details, I think it's best to show you directly on the exchange with some charts. So let's just go to Spot and select Spot Grid Trading. Now, this chart shows BTC on a daily time frame, as most spot trading charts would do. I'm just going to adjust this for better visibility. So what grid trading does is basically it's setting up buy and sell orders based on the parameters you define. All this in a grid format. To give you a very simple example, let's say I create a strategy with 10 grids for Bitcoin, meaning 10 levels of opening and closing long positions. To set up the lower and upper values of the grid, you should have an idea of a bottom value that you consider would not be breached anytime soon, and also an upper value that you consider would be a resistance which would be difficult to break. For the sake of simplicity, I will just set my lowest grid level to be at 16K and the upper level to be at 28K. Now, let's imagine the price to fluctuate like this. Up and down, and then down again, and then like this. What would happen in a grid trading environment is that there would be a buy here, and then those positions would be sold here and here and here. When the price falls, again, buy orders are executed here, and it doesn't reach the execution level at this point, so it goes back up, selling again and again as the price fluctuates. In fact, this is an excellent way of capitalizing on the volatility of the crypto market. Buy low, sell high. Sounds easy and simple, right? Well, as it is the case with most trading strategies, in real life it is not so simple, but it can be profitable if you pay attention to the details. So, how to make grid trading profitable? When it comes to profitability, it is important to understand the fine details of grid trading and what it does. So basically, when you start the grid, your allocated asset is split. The part which is below the current price remains in USDT, and the rest is used to buy the asset at the current price. In this example, with 100 USDT, 30 USDT would remain in the buffer zone, and $70 worth of BTC is bought at the current price. Now this $70 worth of BTC is then split into 7 units. For each one, a take profit order is registered at the grid lines. The distance between the grids is around 5% in this case, so with every swing between the lines, there is around 5% profit on a $10 unit. However, grid trading can be less profitable as well. Now let's imagine a scenario where the price of the asset you trade starts rising without too much pullback and goes straight to the top grid line. The first unit will close around 5%, the second at 10%, and so on, with the last $10 unit closing at 30%. If you do the math, the total net profit would be around 13% in this case. On the other hand, if you just bought BTC with $100 and the price went up from here like this, you would be at 30% profit with just simply opening a trade at the right time and holding. The other scenario where grid trading would not be very profitable is when you start a grid and soon after that the price action falls out of your grid to the downside with not too much hope of ever returning to your defined range. Other than that, if you set a wide range for bottom and top line, all you will need is patience to let the strategy run, and overall you will be in profit if the price eventually picks up. As you can probably tell by now, timing is crucial in this game. So let's see what the best times are to start a grid trading strategy. In my experience, the best time to launch a grid is when the market is down and you are expecting an upside move on the long term with some sideways movement until it reaches your target. First, you have to select the asset you want to trade, preferably something which doesn't have insane volatility, and look for an entry when the daily RSI indicator is in the oversold territory. That's the closest you can get to an ideal opening time. By the way, in case your chart doesn't show the RSI by default, you can turn it on by selecting it from the indicator menu over here, like this. At the moment, Bitget offers 27 asset pairs in spot grid trading, but I am sure they will introduce some more with time. An optimal asset is one which you trust would have an upside potential, the fundamentals are strong, and also it needs to move in a well-established range to identify a moving channel. Assets which are overly volatile could result in the price shooting out or falling off your grid, and that will result in an idle time until the price finds its way back to the range. So the ingredients for a successful grid launch is this: an asset with strong fundamentals, potential for an upside move, a daily RSI reading below 30, and healthy volatility. In this case, you can simply start your grid with a wide range and let it run until the price hits your top line. On the other hand, it would be a mistake to select an asset with major swings up and down at a time when the daily RSI readings are in the overbought territory. You could easily end up in a situation where your asset price has fallen off the grid and you can just wait patiently for it to come back, and until that happens, no grid profit is being generated. When you want to start a grid, the AI strategy module helps you with finding the top and bottom lines based on 7 days of price movement. This calculates an ideal grid number and gives you an annual yield estimation. Now, I don't like this for several reasons. For starters, 7 days is hardly enough to establish a low and high level for your grid. If you really want to make sure that your grid is properly set, you need to take a helicopter view to see the possible bottom and top. My second problem is that the annual yield estimation is based on the assumption that the price is going to move in the exact same range as it was moving in the past 7 days. One thing is for sure, it will not stay in that moving channel. 1 week doesn't define the next 12 months. Fortunately, we have the option to create a manual grid. So here you can set your own low and high values with the number of grids you would like to have. The number of grids shall be set in a way that the minimal profit per grid ratio would not be less than 0.5%. The maximum grids you can set is 90, and actually I don't think anyone would need more than that. So let's go. Now that I've set my grid parameters, I can simply click on the Create Strategy button and I'm done. All I need to do is wait patiently and see how the grid turns profits for me. So why Bitget? There are several grid trading solutions by different platforms. You have Pionex, for instance, which is the absolute king when it comes to grid trading spots. And you also have 3 Commas, CryptoHopper, and the list goes on. So why would anyone choose Bitget? Well, because of the zero fee promotion for spot trades. You see, the biggest problem with almost all the other platforms is the fees that you have to pay for each grid transaction. Just the fees would eat away most of your grid profits. But not with Bitget though. Spot transactions are free. Therefore, all the grid profit stays in your pocket. Even though the grid trading module is still in its early phase and there is definitely room to grow in terms of features and settings, I am sure with these zero fee conditions, this is the most profitable solution at the moment. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you would like me to cover grid trading more in detail, or maybe you are interested in the futures grid. All and any suggestions are welcome. I try to reply to all of your comments. Soon I will upload a new video. Until then, trade safe, big money out.